today we will be going back to the 90s. In this video, I will be sharing with you perfumes that were released in the 90s that up to now, I still think some of these are still quite top sellers in the market. So this is actually a tag video by Kat's Love Corner. If you haven't checked out her channel yet, please do. I will put the link of her channel in the description box. So during the 90s, I was still a kid and I admit I don't own any perfumes. If ever I have, it was just a baby cologne. So these perfumes that I'm sharing now are some of these 90s I just discovered recently and I'm loving them a lot. And some of these were 90s classic that I keep smelling that time on other people. So first is CK1. This one is the first CK1 that was released in 1994, and I would say this is such an iconic scent. This one is such 90s classic. Whenever you say 90s, CK1 will never be out of the picture. This might not be the best smelling perfume in the world, but let's face it, this is mass appealing. Almost everyone owns this one during that time. Especially in my country where I grew up, where I was during the 90s, these are the types of scent that are actually more famous or a lot of people would gravitate to because we are in a tropical country. Fresh smelling, casual, everyday type of scent is the one that are more popular in my place. So those gourmand, strong, florals, those types of scent are not really much, does not sell much during that time in my place. Although I don't really find CK1 a cool or refreshing type of scent, aside from it being citrusy, it has a tropical vibe to it, it's clean, it's good for everyday type of scent, but I find it warmer. It's kind of like a warm scent to me, and there is a little bit of spiciness in it as well, and it is totally unisex. I think that's also what makes this one popular. Both men and women could actually enjoy the smell. I'm not really a big fan of CK1, to be honest, if judging just by the scent alone, but because of the memories attached to, that's the reason why I like to keep one in my collection. It's nostalgic, it reminds me of my country, reminds me of my childhood as well. So next is a relative to CK1, and this is Acqua di Gio by Giorgio Armani for Homme. So this is marketed towards men. This one was released in 1996, and this one I would say is really one of the favorite. I like men smelling like this. I like the cologne scent. Whenever a person would say a cologne or men's cologne, is the first thing that comes up in my mind is Acqua di Gio. Be like, does it smell like Acqua di Gio? Because if it smells like Acqua di Gio, then I'm gonna get it. This one has a little similar vibe to CK1. Although I'm not surprised, they do have the same creator, Alberto Morillas. Although honestly, I like Acqua di Gio better than CK1. But this one is more aquatic, and I find this one more masculine. Well, this one is not marketed as unisex, but for men, so no wonder this is more masculine than feminine. Although I find this one, it could be unisex. I think any fresh smelling perfume could be unisex. But I like this better on a man. I find this one casual yet sexy. I could imagine this one on a beach. It's so aquatic. Just walking in the beach in a clean white shirt. I find this one cool as well. It's cooling. It's clean. It's citrusy. I like citrusy clean scent. But not citrusy. It doesn't smell like toilet cleaner, because some citrusy perfume smells like toilet cleaner, but this one not. It's just clean, aquatic. So next is Davidoff's Cool Water Woman EDT. So this is actually an EDT, but I'm surprised the longevity on this one. Other people claims that it does not last long on their skin, but this one surprisingly lasts really long on my skin. And this one also has such strong ciliage on me and even on my husband. So actually, I'm quite biased with this perfume because I discovered this one through my husband. This is his signature scent for a long time. So now every time I smell Cool Water Woman, it would just remind me of him. I don't see this as a woman's perfume anymore, but I totally think this is a unisex fragrance. This was the best smelling perfume for me before. Although right now, I still like this perfume and it is always going to be a staple in my collection. I think this is quite musky. In the opening, I like it. It's my favorite. It's really cooling. I get the cool vibe in there. I'm getting more of the watermelon. No, not watermelon. The melon and the flowers in there. I think this is also floral, aside from being fruity. Although the opening is quite strong and sharp, it gets sweeter. I'm getting a sweet, I think it's the pineapple in here. A little bit of like a tropical vibe in it. I actually really like this perfume. It has such a good chemistry with my skin. Chemistry. Some people, I heard people saying it has good chemistry or bad chemistry, so I'm not so good about that. But if ever chemistry thing exists, then it has such a good chemistry with my skin. It really smells good on me. It lasts so long on me. I think it lasts more than 8 hours. On my clothes, it would last until the next day. Plus, Sillage is also very good. When my husband wears this one, I will know he's wearing it because the smell will remain on the stairs, in the room. The projection of this is also very good. That's why I would say for the price, it has really such a good performance on us. So next is Jean Paul Gaultier's Classique ADT. So this one came out 1993. But actually, I just discovered this perfume just when I started my perfume collection, maybe about a year ago. I did not know. I was even surprised that this came out during the early 90s. I thought it was new. Classique EDT to me is Orange Blossom and Vanilla. Although Orange Blossom would always remind me of baby cologne, this one isn't. This is the sexiest Orange Blossom that I've ever smelled. I find this one warmer and it gets sweeter when you get to the dry down. That's where I get the vanilla in here, as well as the ginger. I got the ginger, both ginger and the Orange Blossom, which I actually like. The first time I got it, I thought it's going to be a gourmand, a sweet gourmand scent, but it isn't. But I'm actually happy of the scent with this one. I find this one clean. I find it clean, but not the fresh or casual clean, but clean yet sexy. I find this one quite sophisticated. So another one is Classique EDP. This also came out in the 90s. This one is just almost similar as EDT. This one, I find this one sweeter as well. Sweeter, creamier, and warmer. I find more of the vanilla in here compared to the EDT. I like to wear this one during the night. Although both, I think, could be worn whether day or night. But I think I like to wear the EDT during the day. I find this one lighter compared to the EDP. Although I just recently discovered these two perfumes, I think these are still great 90s classic perfume that until now, I think a lot of ladies still owns at least one of these. So next is their male counterpart, and that is Jean Paul Gaultier's Limahl. This came out 1995, and I think this is one of the best-selling men's fragrance that we have in the market, even until now. I actually just discovered this one about 7 years ago when I was looking for going through men's fragrances. I do see a lot of recommendations on this one, as there's still a lot of men during that time that are actually considering this perfume. So I thought this was a new perfume, but it's not. It's also one of the 90s classic. I blind bought this one and I did not regret. I really love it the moment I smell it. I find it's unique. I never ever smelled a men's fragrance like this before. That was before I started my collection. Because I have mentioned where I come from, the popular scent there is those fresh cologne scent like CK1, Acqua di Gio, which I absolutely love until now. These types of scent are not much popular in my place. I'm not sure now because right now a lot of people in there are now exposed to different types of perfume. But during that time, not much. I haven't heard or smelled this scent before. This is so minty. It's fresh. The minty kind of fresh. And it's clean as well. And it's so cool. I think it's the mint there and makes it gives it like a cooling vibe. When you say a cool perfume, cool, fresh, this is what comes into my mind. This reminds me of like a guy chewing a mint or a chewing gum mixed with this nice smelling perfume. It's cool and fresh in the opening, first few minutes or hours, but in the dry down, it becomes powdery to me. It's really powdery. That's what I noticed first. It smells like powder. It really is like powder during the dry down, plus it's sweet as well. I think it becomes Limahl's signature because some of the flankers, even the women's version, has that signature powdery scent in the dry down. But I like it though. I like powdery scent. I also smell, there are so many flankers of this one right now that I keep seeing, same as the women's version. I think I've smelled the newest version of this in a blue bottle. I like that one as well, but this one, the original one, would be a staple in the collection as well because I love the scent of the first Limahl. So that will be all for my oldies but goodies 90s scent that I have in my collection. There are still so many out there. When we talk about nostalgia, 90s classic, there are so many during that time, but only they are not released on the 90s, such as Eternity by Calvin Klein. I keep smelling that one as well on the ladies during that time. I was still a kid, but at that time I don't know if it is Eternity, but right now when I smell Eternity, oh, this is that scent that I keep smelling before. But I think that was released on 1988. Also Jovan. I remember Jovan. I think Jovan mask is also quite popular during that era, but I'm sure it was not Jovan mask that I keep seeing on my parents' dresser. It is in a yellow bottle with such a very yellow liquid as well, but it has a big name, Jovan, but it was not musk. I don't know if it's still available in the market today. I don't think it is. I think it's now vintage. Whoever was alive during the 90s and knows that perfume, let me know what that is. But I remember not liking it. I keep smelling it on the dresser, but like, this is such a very strong scent, vintage smelling perfume. Also Avon, during the 90s until now, the ladies there all have Avon in their collection. Almost every ladies there wears perfume. We all started at Avon fragrances, especially in my country. It's so rampant, the Avon perfumes. Although I don't have an Avon perfume that's released in the 90s. The most famous one is Armani, but Armani was released way back before 90s. So what is your favorite 90s classic perfume? 90s is my favorite years because that was during my childhood, such happy memories, happy times. So let me know down in the comment below what are your favorite 90s scent. Thank you for watching and see you again next time. Don't forget to click the like button if you do like this video, and if you do, click the subscribe button as well.